Hey guys, welcome back. We are continuing on with our plowing in the rain. I had hoped to have this field finished, but I hadn't gotten a chance to finish it. So we're going to go ahead and just finish this. This is a contract job, and as you can see, it's still raining. It's gooey as heck out here, and we're going to just keep going with this. In the last episode, besides hitting every car, every tree, every pole, anything I could find, which I did, by the way. If you go back and watch it, you'll see. I did get the cows some grass bales. We still need to figure out some hay for them and some straw. Well, not straw, just hay. But I don't have any, and I'm waiting for that field to grow up behind the farm so we can cut that and ted it. So hopefully that'll happen in the not too distant future. We are into October now, so into the winter months, and I don't know, man, it's just raining. It's raining to beat the band, and it just keeps raining. And I'm not really sure what to do with it, except keep going. Hopefully the rain will stop soon. But in the meantime, I'm just plowing, trying to get this field done for the neighbor. They contracted us to do it, and we're going to get it done for them, one way or another. So I kind of have been trying to figure out the best way to go with the channel as far as, live streams or videos. For now, I'm still doing videos because I haven't tested all my live streaming stuff to see if I can actually do lives. But I would like to hear from you guys if you'd like to see lives rather than this goofy, I don't know, episodes of my own debauchery, I guess. Let me know, anyway, in the comments if you would like to see some live streams from the channel, or if you are content with the videos. I mean, at least with the videos, you can watch them as you have time. It is one thing that the live streams don't afford. I'm also really toying with the idea of putting up a multiplayer server again. I think I mentioned that the last episode, so it's not going to happen today because there's some things I've got to take care of before I get to that. But I'm playing with the idea of it. So again, that's another thing I really want to hear from you guys, the community, about. If you'd like to see that, or if you'd like to get involved in it, come play a little bit or whatever, let me know. This is not the world's biggest plow, but at least it's not one of those flip-floppy plows. I cannot stand those things. And I know, reality is that's how most, well, I shouldn't say that's how most fields are plowed, but I know they exist and they're used a lot in a lot of places. I just can't stand them. Not even a little. I can't stand them at all. I tried to get used to them, and the idea of having to figure out which direction was the right direction and flip the plow on the way by, it just, oh my god, man, it just made me crazy. So I just finally said, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to use a pull behind plow like this, and I like these, so they work out pretty well for me. There we got a little standing water in the field. That would be the realistic weather mod. It's causing that. You'll see that, especially in low-lying fields, with that mod. If you haven't used it, check it out. It's on the mod hub. It's called Realistic Weather. It's the same guy who made Realistic Livestock, and what's the other one? There's another one that he did. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I like them. They're both pretty cool mods. I also use realistic fueling, so you don't just go hop over to the tank and be like, oh, I'm full. You have to sit and wait for the tractor to fuel up, just like you would if you were filling it up on the farm. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of one of these people who kind of likes things. I shouldn't say realistic to like completely realistic, but to some degree, I like some amount of realism in my game. So, you know. Guys, while I'm thinking of it, if you enjoy the videos, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you can share them, that's even better. If you want to join the Discord, that'd be great. Also, if you're not following the channel, hit the subscribe button. That'd be wonderful. The more people we have that are, a regular part of it, the faster the channel will grow back up again, and we can start doing some fun stuff with it. It had been on a pretty good pace back when I stopped streaming, but I'm just not quite there yet. I'm not quite ready to do the live streaming thing just yet. There's a few things that I have to dial in, and I have to get all squared away on my end to make that work. So we'll see how that goes. But certainly, also, I haven't really mentioned it, and you may see a link down below for, excuse me, that was bad, for it's Doobie energy drinks, and it's basically a powdered energy drink. It's an all-natural product. It's about 150 calories of caffeine 150 milligrams caffeine per serving, and it's like, again, the color, there's no artificial colors, no added sugars, none of that stuff. So it's pretty healthy. I like it, and I think if you're into that kind of thing, you may like it. If you want to give it a try, I have a link down below. It's they'll give you 10% off the product right off the top, and it gives us a small, I hate the word kickback, but it basically gives us a small kickback to kind of put into the channel, and all of that goes into the channel. So I'm not using it for anything else. It's anything we make off that's going to go into the channel. So that's the end of my speech on that, but the link's in the description if you want to check it out. And we just keep on plowing. Plowing, plowing, plowing. Favorite map, guys? Let me know in the description. In the comments. What's your favorite map? I personally tend to play. Well, I'm playing more mod maps now. I am kind of like, because I'm a map maker, I'm kind of like into my own maps, and I've made quite a few. My latest one for this version of the game is American Farmlands. It's on my itch.io, which is also linked down in the description. So check that out if you want. It's a good map. It's a lot of fun. It's not perfect, but it's an American style map, and it's just kind of my own take on what I think a farm should be. That's still my all-time favorite, though I am looking forward to Stevie's 4X version of Riverbed Springs. I think he said the weekend. I think it's coming out for the weekend. So something to think about. Today is Wednesday, as I record this, so you probably won't see it until probably Friday. But it should be coming out for the weekend, so I'll let you guys know when I see it. Because we'll definitely have to give it a look, because it looks really good, and Stevie's really good at making things. I guess just pop. He adds things in that just really change the entire look and feel of the maps. Even though it'll be Riverbend Springs, it won't feel like Riverbend Springs. It might feel partly like it, but it's going to change the entire way it feels. I guarantee it will. I've been playing Stevie's map since I first started playing this game, which was, for me, my first version of the game was technically FS11, but I didn't get serious about it until 13. And then I found Stevie's maps in 15, and I've been playing them ever since. I really like his stuff. It's not for everybody. He's got his own idea of how he does things. Um, his maps have influenced a lot of my own map designs, with a few exceptions. I like the rounded, not rounded, but more natural feeling fields. And I tend to do less logging and that kind of stuff on my maps. I'm more of a farm enthusiast, so that's what I put into my maps. Um, I do like the industries and the factories, but I'm not great at keeping up with them. So I love to build them because I like to be able to create stuff that nobody's seen or nobody's done before or whatever. So that's kind of fun for me. But the reality is I'm not good at keeping up with them. So when I'm playing a map, you're probably not going to see me playing a map that's got a whole lot of factories on it and try to keep up with farming and animals and factories, and that's just not me. There was a time when I could do that, but I just not good at that anymore. And I primarily play this game to relax, so it's I don't want to get to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm playing, you know 300 hours to try to keep up with a couple of things that I shouldn't have took on to begin with. This is That's just me though. And to each their own. I think it's great. There are people who want to do logging. That's cool. There are people who want to do the factories. That's cool. There are people who just want to farm, and that's cool. Now we've got this fishing thing going on, and how is that going to play into this? I started working the other day on for lack of a better term, a fish farm that I'm going to put on American farmlands. That is actually what it essentially is it's a trigger, a factory trigger that's going to allow you to put stuff in and raise fish in the existing fish pond that's already on the farm. So instead of putting in a whole new fish farm and all this stuff, I've kind of set it up so that you can just use the mod and put it down next to the fish or the pond, and then now you've got a fishing pond. So I don't know. It's just an idea. It's just something I thought would be kind of cool. Why not? We got the materials and the fill types and everything in there if you already have the DLC. And by doing it as a add-on or a mod, people won't have to do it. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it. If they want to do it, great. If they don't have the DLC, well, they don't have to do it. They won't be able to do it because they won't have the DLC. But at the same time, it doesn't penalize them like, you don't get this part and now the map's all adjusted for it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to play that. It's just not the way I build my maps. I want people to be able to enjoy them and have a good time. So. Well, I feel like this is taking forever to plow this field. I've been working on this for quite a while now, and it's probably kind of boring from that perspective for you guys watching it. The rain has finally stopped, so that's good. There's that puddle in the field. It's smaller than it was, so that's good. They're just going to dry up. They dissipate after a while. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the fish on this map yet. I have not quite figured out how I want to handle that. I do want to check them out. I do want to play with that a little bit, but there's a big part of me that's like, I just want to farm the map for a while and see how that goes, right? Because it's a whole different map from a whole different place. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do there yet, but we'll do something. We'll do something. I promise you. We're not going to skip it. There's a couple of things I'm not really sure about. Like, so, like, I've been watching some other videos and I noticed, like, the charcoal thing. People are buying this charcoal and then selling it. And I don't understand that. Well, how is that? That makes no sense to me. That charcoal should be part of a production, right? We should have a way to make it, or we should be using it to make something else, right? Am I missing that, or does that sound right to you guys? I don't know. Anyway, it's just a thing I was thinking about. But the big question in my mind is, why not just use it for, you know, um, a new production of some sort, or why not integrate it into some of the productions we already have as another option, like, for generating power or something. Maybe instead of putting fuel in, maybe we could use charcoal for something, that you go and you buy these big pallets of. Not really sure yet, but I've been thinking about it. So that's one that has me a little bit confused. The fish is not a big thing. I understand that. That's fish food, and there's of course the young trout and the young salmon, and then you get the trout and the salmon you can sell. So those make sense because now you can raise the fish and take them to the supermarket, or take them to another production, or take them to a restaurant, or there's 100 things you can do with them, right? Even the rocks, the big rocks that come with the, I guess they're calling it a quarry, the placeable quarry, which I find hilarious. Mostly because it's very small. I would have loved to have seen it bigger, but it's a cool addition to the game. So could we use that in some other form to make something else? Could we use the rocks to make something else? I don't know. Quarry the rocks and then maybe use them to make lime, or use them to, I don't know, make concrete or something. There's I think 1,000 ways you could do some of that stuff. But there's so many available options now that it's not difficult. And I know a lot of people are like, well, the map's locked down, you can't get to this stuff. That's not really true. Especially if you're an experienced mod maker, you know how to get to these things. And we're not talking about cracking anything. We're talking about, so they're placeables, right? So they're placeables in the game already. So all you have to do is place them, and then you can get the address to where they're stored in the game, so that now you can call that and bring them in. You're not breaking into anything. All you're doing is calling them from the place they're already stored and making them appear in the game on your map or whatever, if you already have the DLC. So it's still only going to be people with the DLC that can use them. We're not going to take anything, that way. But it gives you some cool options but you just would have to say, look, there are things that are DLC requirements, right? So, we've done that in the past. We did that in the past. In 15, the first map I ever built, Great Western Farms, we had it was when JCB first came to the game. There was a fast track in one of the sheds on my map, and it was a DLC item. You had to buy it when it first came into the game, and if you bought it, you could use it in your game. It was like a mod, but it was you purchased it. And so I put it in the shed, and I just told people, if you have the DLC, if you have the JCB DLC, you'll have a surprise for you on the farm. And sure enough, a lot of people that had it found it and said, oh my gosh, look, this is cool. Other people were like, I didn't find anything. Well, do you have the DLC? No. Well, that's why you didn't find anything. So it doesn't break the game. It doesn't hurt the game, right? The cool thing about that is that means you can now bring in, say, a building, or that quarry, for instance, the stone quarry. You can bring that stone quarry in, place it on your map, and then grab the code that you need from your save game, put it in. And the only people who are going to get that are the people who have the DLC. So you're not violating any rules. You're not breaking anything, any terms. You're not stealing anything. You're not modifying anything. You're not doing anything that's against Giant's own rules and terms. But you still have the option to add some cool things to your map that way. It's just kind of cool. Sorry about that. Somebody asking a question. Yeah, so I think it opens up a lot of opportunities, and I love that. I love that because I love this game, but there's a lot of things that I want to do more with the game. And sure, there's things you can do that you can completely revamp everything and rebuild everything. But I'm not good with. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not good with Blender. So for me to make a whole bunch of new buildings and a bunch of new industries and all that kind of stuff from scratch, that's hard for me. I use resources that are in the maps already, like buildings. I'll take a building out of a base game map and repurpose it. So like, there's a couple places where you'll see like warehouse buildings that are in my game or in my map that are from the game, and they're used in a different way. They now have triggers and things on them that weren't there before, that kind of thing. But it's, for me, that's the easiest way to do it. I'm just not good with Blender. Some of these guys are really great with Blender, and they'll create these entire maps with all new buildings that nobody's ever seen before, and that's great. I'm glad they can do it. Oxygen David's stuff is like that. His stuff, he'll spend hundreds of hours putting together new buildings and stuff, which is awesome. But I don't have the talent for it, so for me, that's just not an option. Well, that's okay. I mean, you know, I'm pretty proud of what I have put together over the years. That's all. Alrighty. Fog's lifting a little bit down here. I don't know what those are flying through the air. They're making a trail. Those are weird. What is that? I'm being attacked by orbs. Call the ghost hunters. Anyway, we're gonna go about finishing this field, and then I don't know yet what we're gonna do as far as like I said, I'm not really feeling like it's a great idea to plant anything in October. Now, there are some things that could be planted, but I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know, kind of pointless to take up all that ground space with something and then maybe change or feel like I would have done it different when we get to spring, you know. So maybe what I'm thinking is we'll do a bunch of contracts, work on dealing with animals and that kind of stuff on the farm, kind of get our own farm in shape, get some more grass cut and maybe tedded into hay. I don't know. Again, I don't know that that's going to grow either before we need it. So it's just, we're in a weird place time of year wise. I've never been hugely a fan of starting the year the way we do. I feel like this game really should start in the spring, because I feel like that would make more sense from a perspective of getting your farm going and getting everything under control and ready for winter. Now I do know that there is a mod out there that allows you to start. Oh wait, okay, let me rephrase that. There used to be a mod out there that would allow you to start in spring. It was in FS22, and I don't know if it ever came to 25. So It would be nice if it came over because it's a perfect way to start. It starts you in, I want to say it's March. And to me, that's a better time of year to start. I've never really understood why they do it the way they do it at Giants. August is a terrible time to start. I get that it gives you stuff to harvest right away, but it puts you behind the gun as far as like everything else. Getting stuff out and getting more stuff in, or unless you play without any seasons. If you play with no seasons, it's not going to matter because you're going to just turn stuff over, over and over and over and over again. This is, I mean, that's the way I first started playing. When I first started playing, there was no seasons, so we did the whole thing where we would cut the field that was ready to go and harvest it and get it all ready to get pulled out, and then after that it was put another crop right back in it. You know, and that was just the way it was. We're at about 77% on this contract, so hopefully we can get another. Well, I don't know if we'll have to do the whole field, but we'll see. We got a few more rows here to do, and then we can do the headlands. And I don't know if it's going to make us do every inch of the field or not. So contracts are kind of, they've been kind of screwed up from time to time. Somebody needs to do some rock picking on this field. Oh my gosh, look at the rocks in this field. Stones everywhere. I would like to try the onions out at some point too, but I'm not 100% sure yet exactly what to do with them afterward. I was watching a couple of videos of people playing with some of the different stuff that came with the onions, like the bagger and that kind of stuff. It almost seems like bagged onions are going to offer a better price than, say, loose onions. It does mean investing in some equipment to do it, so I don't feel like that's a first year thing. I feel like that's going to be a year 2 type of thing. We got to get some money made and get kind of everything in place to do that. As you can see, we're down to about $12,000, so money is kind of tight right now. We had to consider, there's a lot of things we had to consider. Are we going to, how are we going to handle the fertilizing and stuff? Are we going to try to do that with the animals? Are we going to try to do that with dry fertilizer or liquid fertilizer? There's just, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to all the things that need to be done. And I love this train. Though I see the steam's not working again. The other day the steam was great, and now all of a sudden it's not working again. I don't get it. The first video I saw on here, you had to get into the thing and then get out of it for the steam to work. And I was like, well, that's weird. Okay. And then the first day I played the map, it was working. It was fine. I hadn't even gotten anywhere near it, and I drove by a couple times and I saw steam. And I thought, okay, that's cool. They fixed it. And now I see the steam isn't working again. So I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Before anybody says it, it's not an optical illusion. I know I didn't see steam. You tell me I'm imagining it, I'm gonna be like, what? No. it's going to be an entire episode of just plowing this dang field. Realistically, I probably should have put it on a time lapse or something. But I mean, I didn't because, like I said, I haven't been back very long here. I'm just coming back to this, and I really wanted a chance to kind of be able to sit and chat while I was working. Look at this, look at this. This is a hedge. Why is this doing this? I know it probably bores the hell out of you guys, but it just kind of, it's like a whole thing, kind of get to know your community a little bit, you know. Alright. Now the question is, can we go up the hill with this plow? Because we're going to have to go around the field now, so. We're at almost 90%, so I'm thinking it's probably not going to make us do all of the headland, but we'll see. The train station's kind of cool. I heard it lights up for Christmas in December. I mean, we'll see when we get there. Some really neat things on here. Unfortunately, a lot of those kinds of things we don't have access to. Those are not placeables, so we can't get to them. Oh yeah, she's pulling just behind up the hill. So if you're playing this map, what is your favorite part of the map, or what is it you like most about it? Have you done the fishing? Are you into like the new crop, the onions? Are you just playing it the same way you played all the other maps? Let me know. I'm interested in hearing how you guys are doing it. I know the way I'm doing it is probably not typical and probably not correct, but that's the way I do things. And anybody who doesn't believe that, come over to the Discord. I will give you lots of evidence of that. And most of the people that are in the Discord have known me long enough that they can tell you that is true. That is true. He does everything jacked up. I don't know. It's just a game to me. It's not like, it doesn't have to be like some super exacting thing, but at the same time, I don't like to play with 1,000,000-liter trailers and that kind of stuff, because there's still some level of the game that I still want realistic. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's all I can say about that. It doesn't have to be like brain surgery, but at the same time, I don't want it to be completely silly. I mean, listen, this channel started out being known as the Funny Farm, and there was a reason for that, because we spent a lot of time at one point early on where everything we did was goofy. We used stupid tools. We used trailers and stuff that were way oversized. We used harvesters that could harvest half the field at once, and all that stuff was fun for a period of time, and then it became not that much fun anymore. It became kind of ridiculous. And I became more interested in doing things a little more realistically. And in that, I started trying to learn more and more about farming so that I could do it correctly. And it's actually been really kind of cool, because I've learned a lot of things about agriculture that I never knew. I live in an area um, outside of DC that we have a lot of farming that goes on here. We have it's a lot of corn and a lot of soybean. What just happened? Please start the engine. Why did my tractor just stop? That was weird. I wonder why it did that. Huh. Anyway, a lot of corn, a lot of soybeans here. And it's been really kind of fun because I've gotten to know a few people around and gotten to talk to a few people around and learn a little bit more about, you know, the kind of ins and outs of what they do and how they do it. But the game has taught me so much that I can actually understand some of it now. People will say, "Oh yeah, we do this and that," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I get that. So you do this, and this is how you do that." And, you know, that was so weird. I have no idea why that shut off. Huh. It might have been an advanced the damage mod. It's not what it's called. It's called, I can't remember, but it's basically a damage mod. But there's no damage showing on the thing over there. Oh wait, I'm on. Hold on. Let's see what. No, still not. So I don't know. Just stalled in its tracks. Well, we are almost done. We're at 95% on this field. So we've almost got that done. I'm going to try to start shortening these episodes up a little bit. I think the last one was almost an hour, or it was an hour. And the hour-long ones take, I'm not going to lie to you, they take almost all night to upload. Because I'm not in a great place for internet. Again, like I said, I'm in a kind of a real rural area. So our internet's not bad, but it's not great. So as much for me as for you guys, I mean, sitting through an hour video is hard too, so I'm going to try to shorten them up, try to get them down around 35 to 40 minutes, and we are coming up on that now with this one. So I'm going to finish off this field. We literally have spent the entire last bit of this episode, or the whole episode, just doing this field and chit-chatting. But I promise you that when we come back in the next episode after this, we will definitely have some more focus and have kind of a better idea what we're doing. And I'm going to work on getting kind of some things worked out so that I know where this farm is going, and I can kind of convey that better to you guys. So I'll definitely come back for that. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. I know that everybody is busy, and it giving up a little bit of your time to come hang out, watch a video, and listen to some guy rant and rave about all the things of the world. It's probably difficult, but I appreciate you being here. And in that same sense, help me out if you could just hit the like button. You can hit the dislike if you want. Either way, it's going to do the same thing with the algorithm. It's in interaction, so it's going to do the same thing. But if you could hit the like button and maybe share the video to some of your friends that may be interested in it. And if you're so inclined and you haven't followed already, give us a follow. Come spend some time on a weekly basis or a regular, more than weekly, a couple, 3 times a week anyway. Spend some time with us, get to know us. Come on over to the Discord and hang out over there. Check out all the links below. There's a link for my Discord. There's a link for my itch page. There's a link for Tubi, which is a not Tubi. There's a link for Doobie, which is an energy powder drink that you mix up. It's about 150 milligrams of caffeine per, and real reasonable price, but it's all natural. So the cool thing about that is you don't have to worry about dyes and stuff, because it doesn't have dyes and that in it. Natural colors, natural flavors, all that stuff. So it's a product that I support because I like it. So check it out if you're into that kind of thing. And that's going to do it on the contract. That's going to finish this contract off. So we are going to go ahead and pick up our plow, and we're going to go in here and claim our contract. It's just a little bit of 16 grand. That's a lot, actually, but not gonna lie, there is a mod. Anyway, you don't know what I'm saying before I even say it. Anyway, all right, let's get the heck out of Dodge. Let's get back up to the farm. And as I said, I'm going to close this out. Thanks again for coming out and hanging out with me. Guys, have a great evening or daytime or whenever you're watching this. I can't even tell you what time of day it is when you're watching it. It happens to be evening for me, and I look forward to seeing you guys back for another video in a few days. Alright guys, take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other, excuse me. Be good to yourselves too. And happy farming, y'all.